Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Stink King Sports. I'm your host, Nicholas Stink King, and today we got a Football Friday. I'm very excited for this weekend of college and pro football, so let us hop right into it. Tonight we have a big game between BYU and Boise State. I'm gonna give me BYU to stay undefeated. Junior quarterback Zach Wilson is playing out of his mind right now. He's going 144 for 193 with 2,152 yards and 19 touchdowns through the first 7 games of the season, compared to 2 interceptions. As well, Boise State has only played 2 games, winning both, but they haven't really been tested yet. And because of that, I think BYU is also going to win this game. Also, Boise led up 30 to Air Force last week, and BYU, though playing relatively easy teams, has allowed the most points to Houston, who they blew out 43 to 26. So tonight, can be BYU make them 8-0. Tomorrow, I got 3 games to go over tomorrow. We got first in the 12 o'clock window, we got Michigan and Indiana, number 23, versus number 13. Indiana has been a very big surprise team this year. They faced Michigan, who took an ugly loss last week to Michigan State. However, I like Michigan in this game. I haven't seen a lot out of Indiana I've seen stuff out of Indiana that I like, but I haven't seen a lot out of quarterback Michael Penix that I like. I think he's extremely weak for his position. He's going to be Indiana's downfall, on Saturday. I feel he will struggle against a much more talented and much more just a fast and athletic Michigan defense, and it's going to show. Penix so far this season is 36 for 62 with 408 yards, 4 touchdowns, and interception through two games. One against Penn State, who was highly overrated, and one against Rutgers. As a result, I like Michigan in this game to take the victory. Moving on, I have number 8 Florida versus number 5 Georgia. I think this is a must-win for both teams, especially to stay in the playoff hunt. I think Florida has a great offense. You can see by Kyle Trask, who's had an absolute season in 4 games where he's had 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. However, I just love Georgia's defense, and I love Kirby Smart for the most part, and I believe that they will be able to continue to come up with crucial stops in tomorrow's game. When it comes to Georgia's offense, I think Stetson Bennett is better than what his stat line says, and he's a pretty average quarterback for a freshman. And I think the Georgia won a game that's going to tear up Florida's weak defense. So tomorrow, give me Georgia. They have the better defense. Give me Georgia. In the game of the day, we have number 1 Clemson versus number 4 Notre Dame. And the story of the night is projected number 1 pick Trevor Lawrence is going to be out with COVID-19, leading the path for freshman quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. To make his sophomore start against the 4th best team in the country. Listen, I'm not sold on Notre Dame. I don't really trust their defense. And I think their offense also is going to struggle immensely against Clemson's absolutely monstrous defense. I expect to see a massive workload out of Travis Etienne on the Clemson offensive side of the ball. And I expect the Notre Dame defense to be challenged with trying to stop him. As well, I think Ian Book is going to be extremely overwhelmed against Clemson's defense. All in all, I feel like Clemson's going to win this game. They're going to come out on top, and I think the score is going to mirror a close game, but I think Clemson's going to be on top the entire game, and they're going to stay on top. So give me Clemson tomorrow in the Saturday night ABC game. Moving on to the NFL, I have the Giants versus Washington. Give me Washington here. Washington with Washington in the hunt in the NFC East, and as sad as that is, I think they're going to come out strong against the Giants. I think their defense is going to play well. I think Antonio Gibson's going to have an absolute monstrous game. And I think the Washington defense, like I just said, is going to step up and do its job. I feel like the football team gets the best of the Giants, and I think it's going to be extremely difficult. I think it is extremely difficult to beat a team twice in the season. Though New York had a great loss, I know it's hard to say a great loss, but they looked really good against Tampa on Monday night. I do think that Washington is going to prevail on Sunday. The most confusing game for me of the week, give me the Falcons over the Broncos. I can't really figure either of these teams out. So for me, it's just going to come down to sheer talent on the roster. And I feel like even though the Broncos just came off an emotional last-second victory against Los Angeles, the Falcons will prevail with the offensive threats of Todd Gurley, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley if Calvin Ridley does play. I think the defense will also do its job for Atlanta, leading to an Atlanta victory. Moving on, in the game of the day, in my opinion, we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Buffalo Bills. The battle of two 6-win teams. This is, like I said, the game of the day in my opinion. Both these quarterbacks have had amazing starts of the season, but Josh Allen and the Bills have started to slow down offensively and have started to get sloppy defensively. Their defense has not been able to force turnovers over the past couple of weeks, And against a quarterback like Russell Wilson, if you want to win that game, that is crucial. And I think the Bills are going to have an absolute problem stopping DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. That's probably the best second best wide receiver duo in the league. As well, with the return of all-pro safety Jamal Adams, I think the Seahawks are going to come out of this game victorious. Give me Seattle in the 1 o'clock window on Sunday. Next up, the Bears versus the Titans. I feel like this is must-win games for both teams. Both teams coming off 2 lost skids. I think both teams need this win to get back on track. I like the Titans in this game because of one man, Derrick Henry. And not because I don't think he'll have a great game, but I think he's going to draw all the attention from the Bears defense, leaving Tannehill just sling it all over the field. And, I think as well, Nick Foles is just not the answer. His touchdown to interception ratio this season is 8-7, which is why I like the Titans to emerge victorious in this bout. Moving on to another great game, the Ravens versus the Colts. The battle of 2 5-win teams with great defenses. I think this is also going to be a very good game, as I already said. Philip Rivers is coming off a great game, and Lamar not so much, with Mark Ingram out most likely again for the Ravens. And I think the Colts have the edge. I feel as though the Colts will cause problems for Lamar, their defense, and Jonathan Taylor will back the Colts offense and lead to some big plays by Rivers. All in all, give me the Colts in a really, really close game, a nail-biter. I don't think it's going to be as entertaining as the Bills and Seahawks. I really think it's going to be a great game, a great defensive battle. Leading to the Panthers versus the Chiefs, there's not much to be said here. A team coming off an easy win versus a team coming off a devastating loss on Thursday night, a game they needed to win. The Chiefs are an absolute juggernaut. I'm not going to bet against Mahomes and Kansas City. So give me the Chiefs on Sunday. Moving on. The Lions versus the Vikings. Listen, with the Vikings coming off an upset win against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers due to a monstrous game by Dalvin Cook, I could see that happening again. But I find it unlikely. I think all the attention will be on Cook leading the Cousins to having to win the game for the Vikings. And I think he's going to lose to Stafford in that shootout. Who's coming off a horrible game and I feel will bounce back amazingly. So on Sunday, give me the Lions to bounce back against the Vikings. Texans versus the Jags. Listen, I love Deshaun Watson and hate most everything about the Jaguars. So there's really not much to like about Jacksonville. So all in all, I'm going to take Deshaun in this game. Give me the Texans. I think he's going to win the game just based on him and the talent he has on offense, like his weapons, Will Fuller. That's really it. But I think there'll be enough to beat the Jags' weak team. And the best 4 o'clock game, in my opinion, we have the Raiders versus the Chargers. A team in the hunt in the Raiders versus a team that's really screwed themselves last week. Listen, in most cases, I would pick the Chargers to bounce back. However, probably without Joey Bosa and Casey Hayward listed as questionable and just giving up Desmond King, I think the Raiders are going to take this game. Though Josh Jacobs is listed as questionable, I think he will play. And him and Derek Carr are going to tear up the Chargers defense along with the likes of Henry Ruggs and the fast wide receiver core for the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to come out on top and advance to 5-3. Who would have thought? So give me the Raiders on Sunday at 4:05. Listen, Steelers versus the Cowboys. This isn't even a question. With the Cowboys possibly starting Cooper Rush and Zeke listed as questionable, the Steelers are going to have an absolute field day. It won't be close. It'll be the ugliest game of the day, hands down. Glad the whole nation is going to be able to see it at 4:25 on CBS. The Dolphins versus the Cardinals. Listen, with the Cardinals coming off a bye, I feel like they're going to have an absolute strong outing against the Dolphins, and that they're going to come. And even though the Dolphins came out with an upset win against the Rams on Sunday, I think the Dolphins defense is going to struggle against Kyler Murray, who, in my opinion, is the toughest quarterback to game plan against. I mean, he's just so fast, he's so nifty, he can throw. So give me the Cardinals in a victory to advance to 6-2. I do like the Dolphins defense. I also think the Cardinals defense is serviceable, but I think the Dolphins are going to have a real tough time stopping Kyler, which is why I'm going to take the Cardinals, especially coming off that bye. Saints versus Bucks. I think if Michael Thomas plays, the Saints have a great chance to win this game. If not, I favor the Bucks. I just think that their offense will be too much for Alvin Kamara, and if Drew I think their offense will be too much, especially with Alvin Kamara and Drew Brees. However, if Thomas is ruled out, give the Buccaneers because I think their offense will be too much, especially with Antonio Brown now. And their defense is very good as well. As of right now, I'm reluctantly going to take the Buccaneers. But I can't see the Saints winning this game. I also like the Bucs defense a lot more, and Brady's playing great right now. So, all in all, that's what I have for you today. If you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help the channel out. And have a great weekend. Enjoy the football, and I'm out. Peace.